प्लीज
हिंदी में एक गाना है, जानते हैं?
प्लीज कंटिन्यू
सर, हिंदी में एक गाना है, झूठ बोले कोआ काटे। सर अरे बोलने दीजिए, आप बोलने नहीं देंगे।
नथिंग यू डू प्लीज
वाले को लेट अस कम टू व्हाट यू हैव डन।
if you are interfering like this, please
COVID-19
please address the chair. Kalyan ji please address the chair.
I am addressing you. COVID-19 का टाइम में ये लोग दिल्ली में बैठते थे, हम लोग एमपी है, हम लोग लोकल एरिया में रहते हैं, हम लोग कोविड पेशेंट लेके गया है।
कल्याण जी प्लीज एड्रेस टू चेयर।
सर सुनिए,
Kalyan ji,
I have to give answer to this.
No, you are entitled to do what your government did in West Bengal.
Sir,
don't make some allegations against them.
No, I am not making the allegations.
Please.
What I am saying,
please.
Now two ministers have made the allegations against them.
You now address
Sir, now कोई मिनिस्टर उनको पावर है बोल के, उनको पावर प्रोजेक्ट करके थोड़ा आधा ये भी नहीं हो सकता है पार्लियामेंट।
प्लीज कम टू द चेयर।
I am talking to you. I am talking to you simply because you are the minister. You are having a power to raise your voice, to stand up and to just to. What is this? What is this? What is this?
Please.
अरे सुन लीजिए।
No. Please address the chair.
Now this is not proper. Sir, now COVID.
But come.
So far the COVID is concerned.
सर किसके चेहरे पे मुस्कुराहट है, आप स्वयं
अरे
देख रहे हैं।
सुन लीजिए ना, आप बहुत सुंदर दिखते हैं, बोलते नहीं है।
प्लीज
चलिए जी, आप बहुत सुंदर दिखते हैं, ये नहीं है। अरे समझ गया ना? सुनिए, ऐसे कोई नहीं है, आप सुंदर है देखने के लिए। आप ये बहुत बड़ा फैमिली सबको छोटा करेंगे।
प्लीज हमारे सब्जेक्ट पे
सब्जेक्ट में आ रहा है, क्या सोचते हैं आप?
फिर
सुंदर है तो सब कुछ है, हम लोग क्या है? आप लोग क्या सोचते हैं? आप डोंट डू इट। आप क्या सोचते हैं?
मैं ऑब्जेक्शन लेता हूं।
डोंट डू इट।
सर, इनके कमेंट पे मैं ऑब्जेक्शन लेता हूं। इन्होंने व्यक्तिगत टिप्पणी की है। सर मेरा हक है जवाब देने का। सर मेरा हक है जवाब देने का।
क्या बोल रहे हैं?
इन्होंने व्यक्तिगत टिप्पणी की है, मेरा हक है जवाब देने का। मैं इनको आपके द्वारा सूचित करना चाहता हूं सर कि मेरा नाम ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया है। मैं इस देश का प्रजातांत्रिक प्रणाली का नागरिक हूं। जो आज मैं हूं, जनता के आशीर्वाद और मैंने मेहनत और मेरी मशक्कत के आधार पे हूं। ये अगर मेरे परिवार पर कलंक लगाने की कोशिश करेंगे और बेफजूल बात इस सदन में करेंगे तो मुझसे भी बर्दाश्त नहीं किया जाएगा। कृपा करके सदन में सदन की प्रणाली की बात करें, उनकी बात हम सुनने के लिए तैयार हैं। अगर बेफजूल बात करेंगे तो कोई भी सुनने के लिए तैयार नहीं होगा।
ऑनरेबल एक मिनट ऑनरेबल माननीय सदस्यगण, मैं माननीय एक मिनट प्लीज माननीय सदस्यगण, मैं सबसे आग्रह करूंगा कि एक महत्वपूर्ण विधेयक पर चर्चा हो रही है। विधेयक पर अपन बोले, पर्सनल एक दूसरे पर टिप्पणी न करें, न बैठे बैठे करें, न खड़े होके करें। अपने विषय बोले।
I was not talking, I was about in this subject. He first attacked me personally. चेहरा में है, तो चेहरे में क्या हो गया? आपको चेहरा में आप ब्यूटी है बोलकर जो मर्जी वो बोल देंगे? हाँ,
एक क्लिप।
अरे जो ब्यूटी, हम आपका माफिक देखने नहीं है तो क्या करेगा भाई? आप बहुत ब्यूटीफुल है, बहुत हैंडसम है, बहुत सुंदर है, वो सब हम जानते हैं। Then why do you say it?
प्लीज
अरे हमको बोल रहे, हम आपको माफिक सुंदर नहीं है, हम आपको माफिक रिच मैन नहीं है बोल के हमको जो बोल क्या मर्जी बोल देंगे। हम आपको माफिक सर, हम आप क्या बोल रहे हैं?
सर, अगर सदन की गरिमा के विरुद्ध कोई सांसद बोलेगा
कार्रवाई से निकाल
तो हम भी बर्दाश्त नहीं करेंगे।
कार्रवाई से निकाल दिया प्लीज।
कोई देश का गांव का आदमी होके इधर आया है, हाँ? क्या सोचता है?
कल्याण जी,
140
कल्याण जी, टेम्परेचर डाउन प्लीज 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 माननीय मंत्री जी, आप जवाब देना प्लीज। प्लीज 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 बैठिए। माननीय सदस्य,
सम्मान
मैंने
क्या
निकाल दिया,
है, ये
उसको निकाल
दृष्टिकोण
दिया,
सदन के
निकाल
सामने
दिया।
आ गया है।
माननीय सदस्य, आप विषय खत्म करें, अब सदन को बोल।
करने नहीं देता है।
आप
दो
विषय-
मिनिस्टर उठ के बोलता है, आई विल नॉट क्रिटिसाइज
आप
द
विषय
सेंट्रल
पर आ
गवर्नमेंट।
जाएं, विषय पर आ जाएं।
Sir, I will not criticize the central government. I have said what are the positive changes. They were silent. Why I have said there is no changes. They are silent. The moment I have started to say what are the negative things, they are jumping up on what is this? You will not allow. Sir, I am coming for a very middle class family from the villages.
विषय पे
Sir,
Family पे
जो
बताओ।
सुन लीजिए sir. I have studied in the Pathshala, village schools. I am coming from the grassroots. I don't belong. जो मर्जी करो. I have a medium standard.
ये
That
यहाँ
doesn't
आके
mean
व्यक्तिगत टिप्पणी करेंगे, हम इनका भी सामना करेंगे सर।
The traditional role that the welfare state plays in India in providing disaster relief is that of obligatory nature that has not been extended as a legal right. Mr. Tharoor was talking about the fundamental right. Of course, it's a fundamental right. It will come when a person faces the disaster situation. Leave aside this fundamental right. Why not the legal right will be created? Of course, it comes under the Article 21 of the Constitution. But legal right has to be created. Those who are suffering. Basically, this bill has no such mechanism that allows collaborations among various stakeholders. Even this bill does not adequately address the resources and expertise needs to local authorities, especially in smaller cities.
Thank you.
Despite of Disasters Management Act 2005, over the last 2 decades in regard to national guideline for minimum standards of relief has not been empowered states for morally obligatory framework to empower its citizens to claim certain minimum relief, coordination process and to make it legally obligatory for the state to disburse relief timely and effectively. This bill also has no further clarity on how to achieve such coordination in practice among a diverse set of institutions including non-government, private and general public. The bill shows much evidence of a further centralization of an already heavily centralized Disasters Management Act. The Act in its current form already mandates the creation of many authorities and committees at the national, state and district levels. This proposed bill further provides statutory status to pre-act organizations such as the National Crisis Management Committee and a high-level committee, complicating the chain of action to be followed in cases of disaster. So many committees who will take the decision, who will perform their duties. The bill empowers the NDMA to take stock of the entire range of disasters risk, including fresh disaster that the country could face. Hence, through a process of centralization of power, this bill is seriously going to blur the lines of responsibility among various levels of government, and while scrutiny over its constitutionality as disasters management is not explicitly mentioned in the constitutional concurrent list, so a proper entry could be inserted to cover the issue of disasters management. Sir, today there are 268 municipal corporations in India. Setting up of UDMS means that regarding disasters, municipal corporation would be managed by UDMS and would no longer be part of the disaster management authority. UDMA as a consequence would be headed by the municipal commissioner as the chairman, with the collector as vice chairman, irrespective of age and authority, and will directly be overseen by the central government, but has not been clear how it will coordinate with fire transportation and water services, which are under the jurisdiction of the state, and the law and order machinery throughout the country is controlled by the state. Sir, I hope that Mrs. Sarogi will, of course, oppose to this. Now the collector has gone down, municipal commissioner above, his or her. Now I will be waiting to hear what is the response of Mrs. Sarogi so far this part is concerned. The point of ORI is that while municipal corporations are endowed with the greater disasters management authority in relation to the geographically under the conduct, they may be thwarted by minimal overall powers and sources. Sir, not much state government initiative. Local governments have also been observed to play a key role in the coordinating responses to extreme climate events and other disasters. Different research organizations have found that while outcomes are uneven, vesting powers and resources with local authorities lead to gains in a wide variety of state functions relating to public service delivery, rural development, and the delivery of social security mechanism. Proactive measures. Many state governments such as Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, West Bengal, basically from Kashmir to Kerala and Maharashtra to Manipur, all state governments to proactive measures to contain the spread of COVID-19, including lockdowns, curfews, and total restrictions, including relief packages and free rations for the poor and shelter of migrants. Effective testing and contact tracing. States like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal ramped up testing and contact tracing efforts to identify and isolate infected individuals. Economic relief package. Several state governments announced economic relief packages, including financial assistance to daily wage workers, farmers, and small business owners. Community engagement. State governments engaged with local communities, NGOs, and voluntary groups to promote awareness, provide support, and facilities relief efforts. The state government set up dedicated COVID-19 hospitals and quarantine centers to provide medical care and isolated infected patients. Vaccination drives. State governments organize vaccination drives, with some states even offering free vaccination to their citizens. For our last 2 or 3 years, we can only hear that central government does it, Modi ji किया है, Modi ji किया है. अरे हम लोग का स्टेट में कौन किया है? आपको स्टेट में कौन किया है? वो हम लोग भी करते हैं. जब हम लोग वो करते हैं, क्रेडिट ले लेता है. Sir, unfortunately, for these expenses, central government has not paid to anything. Central government has not paid to anything. Sir,
एक मिनट महोदय, हमारे माननीय कल्याण बनर्जी जी शायद कोविड से पूरी दुनिया को कोविड के समय माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में कितना सहयोग दिया गया, वैक्सीन दिया गया, और ये पश्चिम बंगाल ने और इनकी सरकार ने केंद्र सरकार को समय परेशानी में डालने के लिए ट्रैफिक कंट्रोल, जो वैक्सीन जाता था ना, उसको ट्रैफिक क्लियरेंस नहीं देते थे. आपदा के समय ट्रेन जाके
Please, honorable minister, you made your point, please.
खाद्यान्न के लिए रुकी रहती थी और ये तैयार नहीं होते थे, और जब हम लोग तैयार खुद करने के लिए होते थे तो उसमें बाधा डालते थे. तो इसलिए कोविड के समय सब लोग मिलकर काम किए, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी स्वीकारते हैं. लेकिन प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में हुआ है.
हम आते हैं,
दुनिया इसको सराही है.
आप बैठिए,
गलत मत बोलिए.
कोविड बोलेंगे
नहीं,
Kalyan ji, in any case, your minister is going to give reply. That time it can be covered.
Section new subsection 2 has been inserted, by which the state government has been mandated to take disciplinary action on its own or on the direction of the central government against an officer who ceases or refuses to perform or withdraws himself from the duties of his office or grounds of insubordination or dereliction of duty during a disaster. The action taken by the state government shall not be inconsistent with the direction given by the central government. What is the probable implication? This appears to be an attempt to give authority to the central government to control the action of the officers of the state government. This provision encroaches upon the authority of the state government, thereby destroying federal structure of the constitution. Possibility of misuse against the state government cannot be ruled out. Then a new section 41A has been inserted for creation of separate urban disasters management authority for their state capitals and all cities having a municipal corporation. In such UDMA, the municipal commissioner has been made chairperson. Ex officio and the district collector of the district has been made vice chairperson. Now, what is the possible probable implication? In some cases like Bidhannagar Municipal Corporation or Asansol Municipal Corporation, this may create hierarchical anomaly as a collector may be senior to the municipal commissioner. Now I am coming, sir. India stands on this cusp of being the world's third largest economy, and it is already the most populous nation. In India, despite the constitutionalization of functions of municipalities, the total municipal expenditure accounts for hardly 0.79% of the GDP. In the post-World War years, Japan spent 6 to 8% of its GDP on an average of disaster management efforts, resulting in the country becoming one of the global leaders. But this bill does not adequately address the resources and the funding gaps at the local level, particularly in setting up and maintaining UDMAs. The new disasters management builds on the provisions seeking to institutionalize a similar response team at the state level to be called State Disasters Response Force, and also to constitute a separate urban disasters management authority for the state capitals and for all cities having municipal corporation barring Delhi and Chandigarh, to bring in an extra layer of city-level disasters institution. The removal of clear usage guidelines for the National Disasters Response Fund also raises concerns about centralized control over disaster funds. Following the amendments, the National Executive Committee and the State Executive Committee will no longer formulate national level and state level disaster plans. The NDMA and the SDMAs would take over these duties in lieu of empower local authorities with greater autonomy and resources for disaster response that builds the central government more power to make decisions which could reduce the independence of state and local authorities and will create more problems than it solves. This bill practically does not speak anything about the cooperative federalism, rather destroying the structure of federalism. And ultimately, whenever the disasters, if it is taken place, who are the primary persons who will take the responsibility? The officers of the state. But destroying the federal structure, and one after another bill is coming, one after another thing is, we can see for last 10 years, a good attempt has been made in this country to destroy the federal structure of the country itself. India, with 2.4% of the world's land, houses about 17.78% of the global population. It induces pressure on resources and competition over fragile ecosystems, in turn increased risk for disaster.
హలో తెలుగు రాజ్యం ఛానల్ చూస్తున్నారా? సామాజిక రాజకీయ జీవన చిత్రణే తెలుగు రాజ్యం. అతిశయోక్తులు అసత్యాలు ఉండవు. రాజకీయ కోణం కాదు, ప్రజా కోణమే కొలబద్ద. తెలుగు రాజ్యం వీక్షణ మీ ఉత్తమ అభిరుచికి నిదర్శనం.